back with another one. First off, Happy New Year. Hope you guys had great holidays. This little break was definitely needed, but I'm back and ready to keep the content flowing once more. Until I need another break, that is. So watch till the end and let me cook. Joining the gauntlet in this video will once again feature the genocidal maniac himself, Eren Yeager, going up against several MHA characters. The last time Eren ran this gauntlet, I limited him to only his Attack Titan and Warhammer powers, but this time, he'll have the full power of the Founding Titan and the Rumbling to crush any heroes or villains that get in his way. So if you guys haven't watched the first part of this video yet, go watch it. Then you can be right back for part 2. That being said, if you guys are ready to see some real epic and badass fights, then make sure to subscribe and hit that bell while you're down there. But without any further ado, let's get straight into this with Eren's first opponent. Eren vs. Fatgum. This matchup pits defensive mastery against overwhelming scale. Fatgum's quirk makes him one of My Hero Academia's premier tanks. By storing massive amounts of fat, he can absorb blunt force and sustain punishment that would overwhelm most heroes. When pushed to his limits, he can convert that stored energy into devastating counterattacks, as shown in his fight with Rappa. Against most large-scale threats, Fatgum's durability and close-range power make him extremely difficult to put down. Eren, however, operates on an entirely different level. In his final form, he wields the Founding Titan alongside the Warhammer's constructs, giving him ranged weaponry, battlefield control, and overwhelming flexibility. Even without relying on the Rumbling, hardened spikes, impaling weapon, and massive constructs can be formed instantly, striking from angles that Fatgum can't reliably absorb. On top of that, Eren can summon the past Titans in large numbers, turning the fight into a war of attrition that Fatgum was never built to win. Fatgum could tank the opening exchanges, enduring shockwaves and physical blows longer than most heroes, but his quirk has a ceiling. Once that stored durability is exhausted, his defense collapses, and Eren's relentless pressure ensures that happens quickly.
Kill confirmed.
If Eren escalates even slightly by invoking his founding authority, the fight ends immediately. His KD? 4-2, following upon his previous record. With Fatgum overwhelmed, Eren keeps moving forward. Eren vs. Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Have you ever Googled yourself, a family member, or a loved one and been shocked at how much personal information was publicly available? Maybe it was an old address, phone number, or details you didn't expect to find. If the answer to that question is yes, then fear no more, because that's when this video sponsor comes in. Aura monitors your personal data, including your social security number, across billions of data points like the dark web and public court records to alert you of potential identity theft. But not only that, Aura VPN protects your internet connection with military-grade encryption. It also blocks known scam and phishing sites for added protection. With 100 plus virtual locations, you can access global content safely, whether you're at home or on the go. And all of this for one affordable price. So what are you waiting for? Don't leave yourself vulnerable to data breaches and brokers any longer, and go to aura.com/A-ronimations to get a 2-week free trial. That'll be plenty of time for Aura to find out if any of your personal data has been exposed. So again, thank you Aura for sponsoring this video. Eren vs. Best Jeanist. This matchup pits battlefield control and restraint against overwhelming apocalyptic force. Best Jeanist's Fiber Master quirk gives him precise, large-scale manipulation of carbon fibers, allowing him to restrain powerful opponents, redirect movement, and even immobilize massive targets. Even while injured, he's proving capable of temporarily binding Gigantomachia and multiple League of Villain members simultaneously. Against most enemies, Jeanist excels at neutralization rather than outright destruction, turning the environment itself into a weapon. But with access to the Founding Titan, Warhammer Titan, and the Rumbling, Eren operates on a completely different scale. His power is less about winning exchanges and more about erasing battlefields. Even if Jeanist manages to bind parts of Eren's Titan form, the sheer mass, regeneration, and layered defenses make sustained restraint nearly impossible. Jeanist's biggest limitation here is durability and output. His fibers can slow and momentarily restrict Eren's movements, but they lack the stopping power to deal meaningful damage or prevent regeneration. Once Eren adapts, either by hardening through the restraints or overwhelming the area with sheer force, the fight tilts decisively.
Kill confirmed.
This isn't a failure of technique, it's a mismatch of scale. His KD? 5-2. best Jeanist falls, and with every step Eren takes forward, the weight of the rumbling grows heavier on the battlefield. Eren vs. Himiko Toga. This fight pits overwhelming numbers against world-ending power. With access to twice his quirk, Toga can unleash an army through Sadman's parade, flooding the battlefield with countless bodies and overwhelming most opponents through sheer volume. But the flaw in that strategy becomes fatal here. Toga's clones don't replicate quirks, nor do they inherit the combat experience or the destructive potential of the originals. If she could produce true copies of fighters like Shigaraki, complete with decay, durability, and battle instincts, the fight would swing decisively in her favor. Instead, she's limited to numbers alone. Eren, on the other hand, is uniquely equipped to punish that limitation. Through the Founding Titan, he commands the rumbling, tens of millions of colossal titans whose advance flattens cities simply by moving forward. Thinning Toga's forces faster than he can meaningfully threaten him. Every clone becomes less an obstacle and more of a liability, just additional bodies for colossal titans to trample underfoot. Toga's chaos buys time, but it never creates a win condition. His KD, 6 and 2. Matching numbers wasn't enough. With the battlefield reduced to rubble, Eren advances to his final opponent. Eren vs. Star and Stripe. This fight pits overwhelming scale against absolute rule setting. Star and Stripe operates on an entirely different axis of power. No Order isn't about matching force, it's about rewriting the rules of engagement. With sufficient understanding, she can impose reality-altering commands on anything she touches, including herself, her surroundings, or her opponent. We've seen her grant herself overwhelming physical strength and weaponize the very air around her, notably creating an air construct that was 1,000 times her size in the fight against Shigaraki, which would even dwarf Eren's Doomsday Titan. Crucially, Eren's greatest strength becomes his weakness. The Rumbling and Titan Swarm make it easier, not harder to define the battlefield. Star doesn't need to eliminate every Titan, she only needs one decisive rule. Whether it's immobilizing the space Eren occupies, nullifying Titan regeneration, or imposing a lethal condition on the Founding Titan itself, New Order bypasses scale entirely. Even Warhammer constructs and sheer numbers mean nothing once the rules of reality shift against it.
Kill denied.
And that wraps up Eren Yeager's run through the second round of My Hero Academia opponents. From overwhelming Fatgum's defensive limits, to crushing Toga's numbers advantage despite her cloning tricks, and overpowering best Jeanist's battlefield control, he closes this gauntlet with a 6 and 3 KD. His victories highlight what makes Final Form Eren so dangerous: sheer scale, relentless pressure, and the Founding Titan's ability to turn any battlefield into a war of attrition. But the loss to Star and Stripe draws a clear line. New Order proves that power isn't always about size or destruction. Reality warping authority, when applied precisely, can shut down even the most overwhelming forces before they can fully manifest. Eren's tools are devastating, but they're still bound by rules that Star can rewrite. But what do you guys think? Did Eren's fights play out the way you expected? Or would you have given a different outcome to any of these matchups? Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed these animations, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.